Good morning and welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. This is a beautiful Saturday morning, September the 30th, 2023. The month has ended and we have 10 more days to our general election. And above all, violence has erupted. Violence has erupted. Let me bring in my correspondent for Lamblira, Mr. Samuel Wicker. Let's talk about this violent situation that is prevailing in our country. Sam, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah, good morning, Rod.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay.
My man, what's up with this violence in our
I'm
country?
okay. You getting me?
Yeah, what's wrong with
Hello,
this
yeah.
violence in our country?
Man, it was terrible in Lofa, Foya district, Lofa County, yesterday. A group of citizens from Foya living in the diaspora, they've come home to pledge their support to Joseph Yuma Boakai. And the program was held yesterday. But while the group was trooping to the to the field, to the program site, and violence erupted. What we learned was that along the road where Thomas Father Junction is, there where the whole thing started.
Wow.
And so it left. It was 2 yesterday, but later on it came to 4 dead already.
So what really happened? Because according to Fala, I heard Fala, what's his name?
So Thomas Father.
Tamafala. I heard him talking on one of those shows about what happened, how the people went and tried to violate their compound, and he had so police in there, and they came out and started shooting in the crowd or something like that, some foolishness of that. What really happened, Sam? What you heard happened?
Well, the first account, we learned that when the group was leaving from the various of places and going to somewhere on the football field, right at the intersection of Thomas Father's place, is Johnson Road that leads to his place. There was a guy who had a bag and it broke down. So the police asked him to take it back from there. He said, but the bag is heavy, it broke down. I go, yeah, I want to fix it. And in that process, they begin to manhandle him. And some of the partisans of the rescue team too came to his rescue. And just in that time, stones from Thomas Father's compound begin to rain on these guys, on a group of people.
Wow.
That's how everything started. Yeah, the first account.
I didn't hear Father talk about story. That's why I didn't pay too much to his account of the story. Because whatever he said, we know that a few months ago, Thomas Fala were training militants. He had them dressed up in khaki.
Right.
And they said they were preparing for the violence for this election. And this is a typical example of what he was perpetrating. Why would people get shot from your compound? I saw people beating that man, that video of them beating that man to death, man.
That old man.
That was an old man that beat to death of that.
Yeah.
Wow. Sam, what happened to our country, man?
I told you. If we're not mindful, this country will end up in being, it's the same old bloodshed that we went through.
Right there now, this is the first step to real civil violence.
Yeah.
This is the beginning because you know the CDC will want revenge now. Listen to what the people were saying on that tape you sent me.
Yeah. They're having a meeting.
Who are those people?
They're all top citizens in a meeting with the police and Thomas Father. And so the arm that they brought, it should be in the hands of citizens. So the police commander should be a citizen, the deputy citizen, those top guys around, that they work for all should be citizens because when the arm come, if you fall in the right hand, so it means they were prepared already.
See, they're the same ignorance that caused so many of people to die. So many of people to die. Now, why would your party alone want to be running the police force? That's another recipe for violence. So what you do with all the other people there,
Yeah.
only the CDC people, and you see, there's the same thing we have with the government. You go and appoint all the people in our government, the high top officials from one section of the country. Now, yet the other people talking about they want all their police officers and everybody to be from one party. Where are we going, man?
Mm.
It's the same thing that happened under Samuel Doe. You remember?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
remember that?
Yeah. I was here.
People are talking the
I was
same
here.
thing.
Yes.
Oh,
The
let
same old
everybody,
thing.
let all the government officials with guns be see and NPP and let us rule. That's what they were doing. It's the same thing. Our people never learn. Is that
Going to
ignorance?
forget.
Is that ignorance or
Going to
just we
forget.
just dumb? We just naturally dumb. Huh? We fight for something. We kill people for something. Then we come and do the same thing. My dear, on my show, what you want? You want to come on the show? You want to come on my show? Well, let the people see you now. You calling me during my show? Disturb me. Let them see you. Oh, she run away. So, yeah, man, I keep telling them, don't call me during my show. They will call me during my show.
You remember something ago? I posted that New Liberia. I mean, Idi Amin has come back to Africa, but this time in Liberia. You remember that post?
Yeah.
Idi
I
Amin is back in
remember.
Africa, but this time in Liberia. And people
But
have all kind of things to say, all kind of
what happened
responses.
during
Now you
Samuel
see,
Doe?
it's coming to reality.
What happened during Samuel Doe is the exact thing happening now. Because we told the people,
Yeah.
there's no way you take a high school graduate, making president of a nation, and you expect something different than what happened under Samuel Doe. Everything that has happened under this guy happened under Samuel Doe. They see ignorant people he had around him. They see dummies he had in our legislature. They see wicked people. They see greedy people. They see corrupt people. They in Liberia there. Then you take this other high school dummy drop off and make him president. The violence hasn't started yet. Be warned, my people. The violence has not started yet. Because once life is lost, there's need for retaliation. This is politics. This is politics. This is not a simple misunderstanding and things like that. People fighting to rule our country, to control our money, to control our wealth. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. Once we started spilling blood, there's no end. There's no end to it. So one party has spilled blood already. CDC backing their actions. Whatever happened, Unity Party backing their actions. There was Unity Party that said, and the police were in Falavani in Tamafala fence, and they came out and started shooting live bullets in the crowd and things like that. That was Unity Party people explanation.
Yeah.
He said the people disrupted his fence. When they were passing by his fence, and people started disturbing his fence, throwing rocks and things like that. He gave some kind of explanation to that. So we got two separate explanations. And this is what happens. This is what happens. Despite the two explanations, the 4 people that died were from CDC, right?
I think they are mixed. Some from UP, some from CDC.
Okay. So
It makes
the news has CDC yesterday. Of when I read it this
But
morning.
a police guy just told me that in fact the commander blunders. Yeah, he did. I mean, he was not professional. A police officer telling me, senior
But so how
officer
do
too
people
now.
be professional? We got idiots ruling our country. We got idiots, real dummies ruling our country. Huh? You hear the people sitting there talking about them will make the police chief, the deputy chief, and everybody from the CDC. That means and you got old people talking this thing. People who were there from 1980.
Yeah,
They haven't learned shit. They haven't learned the same thing they did in 1980 that the thing they want to do in this election year. How would it be any better for them? It wasn't good in 1980. You think it'll be good now? We went to civil war because of that stupid thing. But let me warn you, we're not going to civil war. We are not going to civil war. People will be tried and prosecuted. Y'all try bullshit in Liberia. Y'all try that shit. There will be no civil war. We'll single all of y'all out and prosecute y'all, and I will fuck you if God give me the power. So help me God. I will fuck the hell out of you. So help me God. What's wrong with y'all, man? What's wrong with y'all? And let me tell you something. The world not getting any better. You see what happened in New York? You see what happened in New York, Sam? You heard what happened in New York?
the tornado.
Not tornado. That wasn't no tornado. That was just rain. That was just
Okay.
rain. Flooded the whole city.
Hmm.
They got X number of days rain in one day. Like 5 days rain in one day. 3, 4 days rain in one day. How you
Hmm.
do with that kind of thing? Now can you imagine the people living in the basements? All their homes are flooded. You saw the water coming down the stairs.
Ah.
It was flowing like river.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't there trickling. It was flowing. That's the same water in the people's houses. You saw people cars got stuck in the water. Their cars finished. The
Some of the cars
subway.
were floating. Some of the cars were floating. They were going.
Yeah, you saw the subway. All the
Yeah,
subway
all on there. All on there.
flooded. So when you see those kind of things happening in America, you know Liberia going to suffer. You know Liberia going to suffer because they're our greatest supporter, this country. And you see state of emergency in a big state like New York, one of the heart of this country. You see a
Hmm.
flood paralyzing the whole city like that. So people gotta revive the city. All that water damage gotta be repaired. All the things that people lost in their basement, they gotta look for money to replace it. The more these things are happening in America, the harder it would be for Americans to send money to Africa, to Liberia, and the more resources they will need from us. You see how the shit turn around now?
It's true. Once you in crisis, it's difficult to give something out.
But not only that, if America in crisis, she need resources. Where do you think she coming to get it from? From third world countries, poor country like ours. And the more Russia doing the same thing now. Why do you think Russia attacking Ukraine? Huh? Russia want to keep NATO away from the door. So they want to push back as far as they can. This was the same Russia when I was growing up. Maybe you weren't born then, Sam. But when I was in school, going to school in the morning, that always was here. Russia and who was in charge of Russia at that time? Because there were different people. There were Ian Smith in Rhodesia. That was racism. Then you had who was in Russia, man? Khrushchev, or one of the guys in Russia. And the whole idea was expansionism. They wanted to push the border of Russia further. Russia's policy is to expand. That has always been Russia's policy. It's just that during this, before Putin, when Gorbachev and all the people got there, they pacified the society. They pacified the system. It wasn't the same Russia that was there when I was going with Khrushchev and all the other guys. Those were guys that wanted to conquer the West. Those guys wanted to expand Russia. They wanted to just conquer nation. They didn't give a damn. That's Russia's policy, to capture as many countries as they can. That's always been their policy. It's just that the leaders they've been having, the modern leaders, has slowed down with that expansionism policy. Gorbachev went and sold the whole country over to the West. That's why the people, the Russians, were pissed off with him, because Gorbachev was the most pacified leader. He gave the West everything. The other leader that was what his name is, this guy here now. What the Russian president name? What the Russian president name, Sam?
The current president Putin?
Yeah. Why you sleeping that way?
Vladimir Putin? No, I think you were discussing past president. I think you were discussing past president. Now I'm listening to you.
I said, what the current president name? Putin. That's what Putin is doing that for, because he's pushing back now. He feels that Russia has lost too much. And if Ukraine join NATO, NATO will be right at Russia's door. So he's coming now to resurrect the old policy of Russia to expand, to go back at. Now, if Russia start going to Poland and all the other countries, that could be some real World War stuff we look at. World War III stuff we look at. Because right now we're on the brink of World War III. We're on the brink of a world disaster. Not only from World War III, from the weather. From the terrible weather we're facing because of global warming. My man, look at him. I've been here 30 years. I'd never heard people talk about tornado. The other day, they came on my watch, 15-minute warning, tornado. I was like, what? Tornado warning? How do we deal with that kind of thing? You never dealt with that thing in your life. Now you see tornado warning. And then that small thing, the thing can rip your whole house out and take you with it. Take your car, everything. So the world is changing. And we in Liberia, we better tie our belts, because situation in Liberia is not getting good. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. Worse. And you know what I say, worse? It's getting worse. Worse. You said the now thing in Liberia it's not getting better. Now here we are with the election commission. The court say one thing, they want a voter rule, registration rule, distributed, published today. The election commission come on and say, no, they can't do it. They will do it Tuesday. So what the court say, the meeting with the court today at 4 o'clock. The meeting with Watercolly, Justice Watercolly. The meeting with
Mama Watercolly.
Yeah, what they going to say to her? She finished telling them, they finished saying by 4 o'clock, the voter rolls should be public and given to all the stakeholders, the partisans. NDC can't do it. What do they do to NDC? They can't do nothing to NDC. And we only seen it. You ever see a man who is scared? You tell the man, do it today, the man says, yeah, I'll do it on Tuesday. Yeah, hold on. You keep that today thing in your pocket. You can't shoot it. I will do it on Tuesday, huh? See your ass down there. That's what they're saying to the Supreme Court. Yeah. We'll do it. Sit your asses down there. We're doing it on Tuesday. Then besides that, they didn't even wait to go to the Supreme Court to give the explanation before announcing to the public. The principal said we'll meet at 4 o'clock. They come out before 4 o'clock and say it will be on next Tuesday. Totally disrespect to the government, to the Supreme Court. Total disrespect. No regard for them. Why? Because they know this government is messed up. The government is messed up. Only when you know the government is messed up, you can do those kind of things. Otherwise, you wouldn't even try it. You wouldn't try it.
Right, the poor are not organized. This is not the first time
Which people?
the CDC government, the
Okay,
Minister of Justice will say this thing, and the Information Minister will
understand
say
that
another
people are
thing.
idiots. Why you keep them organized? It takes skills. It
Yeah,
takes
you know.
knowledge. It takes understanding, mobilizing, all that kind of thing to plan. You got these dummies. Huh? Sam, how you can depend on these people? What's wrong with you? The very same people took $25 million, they can't account for it today. The very same people stealing all our money against the laws, taking all the money and allocating it to the president. There are people sensible. These are dummies, stupid idiots. And you know what's so good about this thing? In the future, we'll call all of them idiots officially. We'll call them dummies officially. And it will be in the records of the Republic of Liberia that the dummies, that the idiots, that the greedy, that the rogues, that the useless. It will be documented. And their names will be there. Our children and the children will see the rogues, the liars, the deceitful traitors of Liberia. They pack her in the legislature. They pack her in the judiciary. They pack her in the executive. We'll see them. Because we're not playing to name you. We name you, we tell the disgraceful things you did to our country. Because it's necessary as to serve as a deterrent to the young people who won't practice the same shit. Our country is not a country for rogues. I keep telling you all this thing. Our country is not a country for rogues. And once we understand these things, the foundation of our country
Why
is
is
so.
breaking?
Huh? What you say, Sam? You can't hear me? Sam, you can hear me? Okay. So Sam is gone. And that's the problem with dealing with these connectivity issues with Liberia. You know, you never know when the internet will go and when you lose connectivity. But just the same, the situation of our country has deteriorated. It's not deteriorating, it has deteriorated. And this was anticipated. Why? Because all these people got militant groups. When you forming militant groups and dressing them in militant uniform, why? What is the purpose? What do you think will happen? Huh? How Father Vani then got gun in his thing, in his compound? Is that the case? If that is the case. But all of this hurts our country, man. It hurts us. It hurts our country. It brings us down to nothing, you know? So, I mean, it's hard. Let me bring Sam back in. I'm trying to bring him back in. So what happened?
So I had a break in there.
Yeah,
It
so
just
even after
you took my,
huh? Even
I
after
said
meeting
Liberia
with,
business.
even
Liberia
after
is worrying you.
huh?
I see you worry about Liberia too much. Why you taking time to talk?
No, because I'm looking at the situation in the country. We met with the Americans. They have reiterated time and time again that this election going to be peaceful. But the part about it, the threats America making to Liberians, they are vague threats. Now, one person has been punished yet since the sanction thing. You sanction the people, you just lead them. Huh? So people don't have to come to America before election. And what will happen after election? America will drop the rules and forget about the sanction. Huh? Something will happen after. If they can't punish the people now, you know they ain't never going to punish them. Huh? After this election, all that sanctions will go away. Look how better now you hear them. How long they been going after them for sanction and child stealer? What happened? How many people suffer from that except child stealer? Who else suffer besides child stealer? Child stealer only suffer because he's an idiot. You know? He went and surrendered himself. And his father, Allen Johnson, 72. That guy is nuts. But this is where we are, Sam. So we got a few more days for election. 10 more days. What will happen within these 10 days? People got to go over that, the FRR. People got to go away. What happens if there are unprecedented number of errors?
And the rules are so bad. The rules are so bad. When will you reach to San or Berlin? You know, the time is so short.
I see crisis brewing. I see crisis brewing. People
I hope this election is not postponed.
Some people, these people will not want to postpone it. They want to have the election. If the voter FRR coming out on Tuesday, why would they want to suspend it? They controlling the voter roll. Whoever needs on the voter roll, the parties got to go out and sift through the roll itself to see who all are genuine people on that roll. You yourself telling me your birthday is not correct. Where will you fit? Huh? So if those people sifted the roll and they found out that a lot of the people
you got over 2.5 you got over 2.5 million registered voters.
And you find out a lot of the people, a lot of those people are not genuine. What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen, Sam? We're coming into another state of violence because people want protests. People will not want election.
Yeah, up to now I've not got my new card.
You better
Up to
forget
this
about
date,
new card.
I've not got my new card.
You better forget about new card. You're getting no new card.
So you know how many persons affected?
How you get new card? The people got money to finish the process. The process now has gone to 10 days. By the time that list come out Tuesday, it will be 7 more days. You think these kind of people will go through that list and be able to verify all the people that they're false and demand that a list they be moved from the list?
Maybe they will do it county by county.
That's what I said. It can't happen.
So
It can't happen.
but the first remote counties will go first, and the urban counties will be last. You know, that's what I believe.
But you see me yawning, man. I've been up since 12 o'clock. I'm trying to put my website together. I'm almost done. I doing it myself. So I gotta watch YouTube as I do it. I've been up since 12 o'clock trying to do it. When it got 2 o'clock. I got it 2 o'clock. I fell asleep so bad. But fortunately, I like doing what I do. So I was revived to do the show. But we got 10 more days to go. 10 more days. 10 more days, my people. 10 more days to go. 10 days, 9 days, and a wake up. You got 9 days, and when you wake up, it's time for election. So that we call it 9 days and a wake up. Okay? So you got 9 days and a wake up before election.
We have the next Tuesday. Wow.
Yes, week after next. So are you ready? For all of you diaspora Liberians who went back home, do you feel that this whole process was worth it? What do you think they feel, Sam?
See that?
The people from the diaspora who go home, what
Hmm.
you think, how you think they feel?
So
What
I
what you
mean,
think,
it's
what you
it's
think,
it,
what you
it
think, what you think was the expectation first?
well, when you leave your community for so long and returning home to see your friends, your old friends, your parents, and that mood, you expect some great happiness. But to the contrary, it's in sour. So now they have seen for themselves how Liberia look like. So it's not social media thing. Now they are a witness to what happened in Lofa yesterday. So when they come back, to the States, they're going to tell you what actually happened. So
But
Liberia is bad. Liberia is going bad.
well, the only way they would have negative feeling about what happened if they were impacted some kind of way. But if they were not impacted, if they were CDCans or if they were the other partisans who had no interest in being in Lufa country anywhere, maybe they would not have no interest in it because being in America, we're so far away from what happened in Liberia, we can only feel it from a distance. You see? So even if you're in the country, if you're not in tune with what happened in the country, you still would be a stranger to the country because you will not be in tune with what's happening. You hear about Nimba, 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 and all of that, but you will not want to get involved because to you, you're a stranger. You see, and that what happened to some people when they stay away from the country for so long. They come home, they feel like a stranger. First of all, everything not the way it was when you left. I went down where I used to live on Warren Street, yeah. Excuse me, Warren Street and Ken Johnson Road there. Man, I was shocked. The house I grew up in was broken down. I was like, wow. There were just one or two houses I remember they're still standing, and those were the ones that set the landmark for me to gather some orientation on where I was. But the country, if it wasn't for those few houses that I remember, I wouldn't remember nowhere in my neighborhood. Even when I walked down, right down from me is Monrovia College. I walked down to Monrovia College. Monrovia College had changed. It's a university now, right? MT.
Yeah.
Yeah,
AMEU.
yeah. I went down there, man. I said, what? This is another university here. But it's good to have university. I just hope that those universities are certified. People don't just get them and open university because they want to open it. Then people graduate from there. They can't read and write.
Hmm.
They don't spell their own names. So those are the problems we have in Sam. How do we break away from those problems? How do we break away from those problems, man? How do we set a new direction for our country? How do we encourage young people to get more involved with government? You know, how do we discipline our people to not be so greedy, to not be so self-centered and focused? Because those are the things that are killing our country. When our leaders have no love for the country, not for the people, and they have no, because you have no love, how you have compassion for the sufferings. You can't. You can't. You're not part of that. You're far remote from all of that. So that's what it is. But Sam,
Mhm. Yeah.
today, today is the end of September, and we're going to election. 10 more days. Give me your views thus far
Regards
on
the
what you see,
process.
on what you anticipate in the next 5, 6, 7 days.
Where we expect total peace, calmness, uh, while we approach the main day, next a week after next. The incident in Lofa shall be a wake up call to all Liberians that violence can never solve our problem.
So true.
It will only result to innocent lives. The economy is already crippled. So once you continue to do this, you are driving investors. So I don't know if people understanding that. And once you are named a failed state, and nobody going to help you. So we
Isn't
call
that
it on all Liberians.
isn't that where we are now? Near a fair state?
Oh yeah, not reached that level yet. And we still get room to put it under control. If only the government is sincere. I'm afraid. See from this guy explanation of his request to government that all citizens should be in armed. The top police officers should be citizens.
Who is that
So
guy,
it
Sam?
means the guy. I don't know him, but he wanted others from the CZ camp in Lofa. I don't know his name,
Hmm.
but Thomas Fowler was in that meeting. The police commander was in that meeting, and it was in the compound of Thomas Fowler.
That all of this thing erupted. But
Yeah, so
Sam,
you see, yeah, it's bad for the country. Eh.
we have to just sit there and see what would the investigation of the police will be. They say they dispatch a team up there because we're getting conflicting reports. CDC have made their statement in their behalf. UP made their statement in their behalf. Now we want a true statement. 4 people are dead. Who's going to account for those lives? We need
So they
CDC.
they 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 very observer. We got over six. We got over 600 national observers and about two 300 plus foreign observers. Why can they go there? Some of them, those who are signed, look like because they got all. Some of them are signed in rural counties
Because
or per region.
right now, those guys are focused on election. So if anybody in Liberia, they're dividing the people up because there are all these candidates, especially the top 3 or top 4. You want your people to follow them so that you can get information in. If these incidences that are occurring because of this stupid stuff and nobody around to handle it, nobody can handle it. Right now, all these guys out of the country, right? They're up country, right?
Hmm.
Jeremiah, where is Jeremiah Coon? He in
He was in
Kuko,
Maryland
Maryland, and what
yesterday.
all the other people
River
gone.
G.
Where is Normally?
Yeah, Yumli is in Bassa. Moy
And
is
where is
in
Jared?
Bong. Joy Huya is in Nima. Darrow is in Maserati County. That is prayer.
So with those people being out of the country, they have no real control over their policy in the city. Who's going to stop it? Or maybe they're using that opportunity to be out of the city as a good opportunity to stay up in the city. Why, President Already?
Sure, gas passing here on the road. Yeah, they
Where's
send
that?
data in minutes. That's a new thing in Liberia. They
Yeah.
got they got a megaphone.
Well, Sam, not much we can say today, man. I think
Every little child got some business
our,
doing.
I think our hour is up. So
Yeah, I think we are saying enough, and we
I
just
want to
pray
put
for
my
peace.
website today too. So I want to
We
rest.
just we just we just pray that this.
Go ahead. What you saying?
Yeah, we just pray for peace, and we hope that this doesn't happen anymore until election, because I mean, and they can say nothing about it.
But what next we say?
So we hope they are documenting everything, because it gotta be investigated.
Yes.
You gotta hold somebody liable. So we wait and see.
It made me
Yeah,
laugh.
wait and see. Monday we got some news stories.
It made me laugh. Who have we
Yeah,
ever had liable in Liberia? Only the poor
and they
people.
put me investigating. Well, I mean, cases, no report.
I say who has ever been held
Well,
liable?
that's New Liberia.
Joke. Okay, man. Take care.
Okay, right.
I see you
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Yeah, have a nice weekend.
You too, bro.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, before I leave, I want to start my show with a special prayer for America. I wanted to pray for this country because we are at risk of losing our democracy. If America goes away from democracy, what will happen to the rest of the world? What will happen to the rest of us? When the president who's talking about going after his political enemies, what will happen to people that mean to? Who's speaking out for democracy and against the evils that have been going on in this country for the past year? So I want you to please stay and join me. Let me say this short prayer because it's necessary. In the name of the Father and Son and the Holy Ghost. Most gracious Father, we humble ourselves before you, before our God, the Holy Trinity, Creator, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Ghost. We humble ourselves before you this morning in total submission, asking that you turn your eyes and your attention towards America. This is a nation that you have richly blessed. That this idea of two governments, a local government and a federal government, is such a great ideal. It's such a great political endeavor. It's such a great unifying force that enable us to exercise our rights as human beings under the law that we voted for and approved. No other nation can be as great as America. No other nation that has a dictator, that has family ruling it, or a few group of people in power and making decisions for the whole nation can ever excel or exceed America. So, Father, acknowledging all of this and the blessings you have bestowed on this nation, in spite of all its difficulties, in spite of all its diversities and divisions, Americans remain strong because this land is blessed. You bless us and abolish slavery. You bless us that all of the problems we're facing, even to this day with the racism and hatred and its attempt to revive itself, you alone hold this nation dear to you. All the good people in this nation that call upon you You are the source of our strength and our salvation and our help. So again, Father, I say this special prayer for America, because we are facing enemies on every front. The weather, the mega group who want to destroy democracy, and those who are silent, know it's wrong, but don't want to talk because they're either afraid or they want to see what will happen. But only you, God, controls everything that happens in America and across the world. And to end my prayer, and not wanting to make it long, I submit myself to you. And I call on all my brothers and sisters who are Christians and believe in your grace and your power and your love for mankind to join me in praying for America, that will overcome this stage of divisiveness in our country, division, bitterness and hatred, insults that got our government looking so demeaned and paralyzed. Look at even today, our leaders cannot even come together to pass a budget to keep our federal government afloat. You have the answers to all of this, Jesus. And we ask you to help us with brave and powerful leaders to turn the hands of tide of the enemies against democracy. All this we ask in your name and through your grace and your blessing, that all the Christians who hear me praying will join me and say, Amen. My people, my class is done. I had to do this. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe that he has kept this democracy and all the ideals of freedom for mankind, forefront for the people who love democracy, who love to have a say in their government and the direction of their country. And this is America. And we got to pray for America, because whatever bad America has done to its people and other people, there are nations far worse than America. And let's pray, because America can still grow. America can still prosper. This is the nation that leads the world, and it's a great nation. And God bless America. Aluta! Continua. My class is done. I see you all, my people. Monday morning, let's take it from there. Okay? We should also pray for our country, Liberia, but right now, America needs prayers. We don't have it as bad as this country. We don't. But we listen to our president condemning people, talking about going after his political enemies, insulting people. They're not something we're used to. And we can't tolerate it. So we ask God to help us. All these people that want to destroy democracy, let him punish them. Let them go to jail. I don't give a damn who they are. Let them go to jail. Let them feel the weight and power of our Christianity. Have a good day, my people. My class is ended. Take heed and govern yourselves accordingly.